Om Shanti. Good evening. So we will listen to Baba's Murli for 18th September 24. The essence is, sweet children, you are the living stars of the earth. You have to give light to the whole world. So self-respect that I can practice is, I am a living star radiating light to the whole world. Gives a sense of responsibility, right? So I'm a living star radiating light to the whole world. The question is, how does Shiv Baba make the bodies of you children pure? The answer is, he gives you the milk of this knowledge through Mother Brahma and makes your bodies pure. This is why it is sung in his praise, you are the mother and you are the father. You children now drink the milk of this knowledge through Mother Brahma, through which all your sins are being cut away and you are becoming pure. So what is the relationship that Baba is emphasizing on? He's emphasizing the relationship of a father and mother. So Shiv Baba is the father feeding us. So instead of nectar, today he's talking about the milk. Just as a mother gives milk, right, to the child, to the baby. In the same way, this milk of knowledge is for us children. So here's the relationship of mother and father. So through Brahma, so Brahma Baba becomes the mother, Shiv Baba being the father. And through this, our sins are being cut away. And Baba says, you become pure. Om Shanti. The spiritual father sits here and explains, just as there are the stars of the sky, so it is also remembered of you children that you are the stars of the earth. They are also called celestial deities. In fact, they are not deities. You are much more powerful than them because you stars enlighten the whole world. You are the ones who will become deities. The rise and fall that takes place is yours. Those stars give light to the stage, but they cannot be called deities. So the stars that we see in the sky, and we see, right, sometimes the stars break. In Hindi, it's called the stars break, tara tuta. So what happens is when the stars break, they fall towards the earth. Have you seen it? Have you witnessed it anytime? The star falls towards the earth. Now, so that's called like the stars breaking. So Baba says those stars that we see up there in the sky, they are not deities, even though, some people call them, especially sun. Sun is also a star. And then sun is called as a deity, no? Surya Dev. So worshipped as a deity. So in the same way, Baba is saying that these stars are actually not deities. They are just celestial bodies out there. But we souls, as these tiny points of light, as the stars, we actually become deities. So Baba is connecting the soul, the star, to deities, to those stars, and we are the deities. So you are the ones who enlighten the whole world. There is now extreme darkness over the whole world. Everyone has become impure. The Father has now come to make you, sweetest children, into deities. Human beings consider everyone to be a deity. They even say that the sun is a deity. In some places, they even hoist a flag of the sun and call themselves the Sun Dynasty. I think in Japan, right? The flag has a sun, no? And they call themselves the land of the rising sun, and they call themselves as the Sun Dynasty, belonging to Sun Dynasty. In fact, you are the Sun Dynasty. So we souls are the true Sun Dynasty because we come in Golden Age, which is the Sun Dynasty. The Father sits here and explains to you, children, there is now only extreme darkness in Bharat. There now has to be only light in Bharat. And what will bring light? It is knowledge that will bring light. Hmm? So the Father is giving you, children, the ointment of this knowledge. You were sleeping in the sleep of ignorance. The Father has come to awaken you once again. He says, according to the drama plan, I come once again at the most auspicious confluence age of every cycle. This most auspicious confluence age is not mentioned in any of the scriptures. Only you children now know about this age, since you are now becoming the stars and then the deities. So I first stabilize myself, reminding that I am a living star. I am a star who is giving light to this world, and I am a star who is becoming a deity. So the sparkle of I the star, I the soul, I the star has to match with a deity as a deity, the qualifications, the qualities of the deity. So Baba says, it is said to you alone, salutations to the celestial deities. From worshippers, you are now becoming worthy of worship. There, you are worthy of worship. In Golden Age, we are all worthy of worship. All are deities in Golden Age. But we don't worship each other in Golden Age. But we are all worthy of worship deities in Golden Age. So this has to be understood. This is called a spiritual study. There cannot be a battle between anyone in this. The teacher teaches in an ordinary way, and the children study in an ordinary way. Can we see the teacher who is teaching us? We don't see the supreme teacher. And the students who are studying, who is studying? It's not this person studying, it's the soul studying. So both the teacher and the student are invisible in this study. The teacher is invisible, the student is also invisible. So there is no question of a battle in this. This one doesn't say that he is God. So Brahma Baba never says, I am God. Only you children know that the one teaching you is incorporeal Shiv Baba, who is invisible. So even though, people would say Brahma Baba, no? Or people see all of us, right? They see the instruments or they see Brahma Baba and they think that, oh, he is God. But he is not God. He never said, I'm God. So he doesn't have a body of his own. Shiv Baba, the incorporeal God, Shiv Baba, doesn't have a body of his own. He says, I take this chariot on loan. Why is he called the lucky chariot? Because he is very, very fortunate chariot. He's the one who becomes the master of the world. And so he is Bhagirath, the lucky chariot. Bhagirath. In the scripture, there's a story of Bhagirath, who was a sage. And they say that Bhagirath was the one who brought Ganges to this world, to this earth. Because there was famine, there was dry, everything was dry. So Bhagirath went to Shiv, no? And he said that we need Ganges on the earth. And, it was said that the flow of Ganges is so strong. Who will control the flow of the river? And that's why they show that Shankar has Ganges in his, in the hair. So that way the flow of Ganges is regulated. Now, again, these are stories in the scriptures. But what it actually means is Bhagirath, who is Brahma Baba, who is the Bhagyashali Rath, which is the chariot, the fortunate chariot through which The Ganges of knowledge is flowing. That means Shiv Baba is speaking this knowledge through Bhagirath, through this fortunate chariot. Hmm? So the ocean of knowledge actually comes on this earth through the chariot of Brahma. So the meaning of everything has to be understood. This study is the greatest of all. In the world, there is nothing but falsehood. It is said that the boat of truth will rock, but it will not sink. Nowadays, many types of God have emerged. Many people call themselves as God, or in devotion, many types of God have emerged. Let alone themselves, they even say that the pebbles and stones are God. In India, now they celebrated the Ganesh Chaturthi festival. So the idols, no? Think about it. Every place they have these little places, or people bring these idols at home, Ganesh idols, and every idol has become God. No? So stones, pebbles, everything, God. So, so they have made God wander around so much. The father sits here and explains just as a physical father would explain to his children. However, such a father would not also be a teacher and a guru. A child first takes birth to a father, and then when he grows a little older, he needs a teacher to teach him. A guru is then needed after the age of 60. That one alone is the father, teacher, and Satguru. So only God is the father, teacher, and Satguru. He says, I am the father of you souls. It is souls that study. Each soul is called a soul, but many names are given to bodies. Just think about it. This is an unlimited play. That which is predestined is taking place. It is nothing new. This is a predestined drama taking place. Nothing new. Whatever happened 5,000 years ago, last cycle, is just repeating this cycle. When we think about it this way, then we are not surprised by anything that happens. We are not shocked by something that happens. We know that it is repeating, nothing new. But if we think about it, if it's in my destiny, it will happen, then I'm not making effort for it. Yeah, it's more about then I'm becoming careless. So the whole thing about using this drama or predestined drama or destiny is for no surprises or not being shocked, not being stressed out for situations in our lives. But just thinking that, okay, I did this last cycle, nothing new. I've done this before, and I'm going to do exactly what I did last cycle. Right? It's to be used this way and not to be used for being careless or lazy for our effort. So, this is an eternally predestined drama which continues to turn. All souls are actors. Where do souls reside? You would say we are residents of our home, the supreme abode, and we then come here to play our unlimited parts. The Father constantly resides there. He does not take rebirth. Shiv Baba is permanently in the soul world. He is in the home. He doesn't take rebirth. He only comes during the confluence age to teach us, to purify us, and then take us back home. He doesn't come in the cycle of birth and death. The Father, the Creator, now tells you the essence of Himself and creation. He calls you children spinners of discus of self realization. No one else can understand the meaning of this because they think that Vishnu is the spinner of discus of self realization. So they ask, why do you call human beings this? Only you know this. Why does he call us the spinners of discus of self realization? Because in devotion, they have shown Krishna or Vishnu, right, with the discus, the chakra, no, that keeps spinning. So this this chakra or this the discus is shown with Krishna or Vishnu. And one would say, oh, why is he saying that? Oh, we are the spinners of discus, but we are not carrying this discus with us. But what does this mean? It means that I, the soul, at this time, when I understand my entire journey throughout the cycle, I know my entire journey throughout the cycle. So we keep spinning this journey. Where did I begin? I began as a deity in Golden Age, worthy of worship. I am now Confluence Age, in Confluence Age, studying this knowledge, realizing that I am God's child, becoming an angel in my action, through my actions, and then going back home, and then coming down. This is our cycle, this is our journey, right? Going back home as soul, point of light, coming down as deity, and then going throughout the cycle. So we are the ones who are actually spinning this discus. That is discus of self-realization. I realize who I am, who I was, what am I becoming. So we are the ones who are actually spinning this discus. So Baba says, when you were Shudras, that means ones with Shudras are the ones with lowest intellect. Lowest intellect. You were human beings, and now that you have become Brahmins, you are still human beings. And when you become deities, you will still be human beings. But just that our intellect keeps on changing. Right? So, as a Brahmin now, so from Shudra, that means from the lowest level of intellect, we are becoming Brahmin, where our intellect is now becoming elevated. And then we become deities, where our intellect becomes like gold. So it's just the quality of the intellect. So Baba says, however, it is the character that changes. Deities are also human beings, but they have divine virtues. When we come down, become degraded in our actions, in our intellect, we are still human beings, but very low, degraded virtues or character. And now, Brahmins, human beings, but elevated character and elevated karma. So when Ravan comes, your characters are spoiled so much. Those vices do not exist in Golden Age. So from Golden Age to Copper Age, when it is the kingdom of Ravan, that means the five vices, when the five vices enter, then our character becomes more and more vicious with vices. So the father is now telling you children the story of immortality. You have heard so many stories on the path of devotion. They say that the Lord of Immortality told the story of immortality to Parvati. And they talk about this, the Amarnath, the Amarnath Yatra, the pilgrimage to Amarnath, which is very high elevated point. So they believe that the Lord of Nectar gave the story of immortality to Parvati. And there's a shivling of ice, no, representing this Lord of Immortality. So who is this Lord of Immortality? Shiv Baba, the Supreme Soul, is Lord of Immortality, who is telling all of us souls the story of immortality. That means all of us are immortal beings. We souls do not die. All of us are immortal beings. So this is the story of immortality. So, however, it would surely have been Shankar who related the story to her. How could Shiv tell it? So many human beings go to listen to it. The father sits here and tells you about the things of path of devotion. Right? Devotion, they talk about Shankar and Parvati. And they say Shankar narrated the story to Parvati. So the father doesn't say that devotion is bad. No, but it is the eternal drama that is explained to you. The father now says, firstly, consider yourselves to be souls. This is the main thing. God speaks, man mana bhava. What is the meaning of that? The father sits here and tells you the meaning through this mouth. And so this is the Gaumuk, the cow's mouth. They believe, again, today's Murli is all about, a lot of beliefs and stories in the scriptures and devotion. So Baba's talking about all of that. So Gaumuk, which is a cow's mouth, they believe that Ganges is flowing through cow's mouth. So again, Gaumuk is Brahma Baba, no, his mouth, because the knowledge is being spoken through his mouth. It is also explained that it is to that one that you say, you are the mother and you are the father. Therefore, he has adopted all of you through this mother. And you are, so therefore, he has adopted all of you through this mother, which is Brahma Baba. Shiv Baba says, I give you the milk of this knowledge through this mouth, which is Brahma's mouth. And so all your sins are being burnt away and you souls are becoming pure. So when I, the soul, drink this milk of knowledge or imbibe this milk of knowledge, I become pure. So souls become completely pure and they then gradually continue to come down the ladder. You souls have now understood that you were pure and that your bodies were also pure, and that according to the drama, you then came into the cycle of 84 births. You are now no longer pure. You would now be said to be 9 carat. So from 24 carat pure gold, we come down to 9 carat, which is very less quality. Hmm. Only a small percentage now remains. You cannot say that it disappears completely. A little of it still remains. The Father has given you this sign. The picture of Lakshmi and Narayan is number one. The whole cycle has now entered your intellects. The introduction of the Father has also entered them. So our intellect has absorbed or has understood, hmm, who am I, who God is, the story of this drama, my journey throughout this drama, what am I becoming. So the Father shows you the way to become pure. How can the alloy that is in the souls be removed? There is the pilgrimage of remembrance for that. This is called a battlefield. Each one of you is an independent soldier on this battlefield. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, the first line of Bhagavad Gita is talking about Karma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. That means that we are on this battlefield where our karma, this battlefield of our karma, this land of karma. huh? So, all of us souls, while in this body, playing part through this body in this world, are now on a battlefield. Fighting whom? Fighting against our own weaknesses. No, we are not fighting any third person, anybody else, but we are fighting our own weakness. So we are all on this battlefield. And Baba says that it is only through this pilgrimage of remembrance, that is remembering Baba, is when the alloy of impurity or the vices which is on the soul, this alloy can be removed. So each one of you can now make as much effort as you want. It is a student's duty to make effort. Wherever you go, continue to caution one another. Man mana bhava. That means direct your mind towards me. Remind each other. Do you remember Shiv Baba? Just give this signal to one another. The Father's study is the signal, and this is why the Father says, your bodies are becoming pure in just a second. I make you into masters of the world. It takes a second to stabilize myself as a soul and remember Baba. So, in 1 second, we are getting one step closer to our purity. So, Baba says it takes 1 second. I make you into masters of the world. When you become the children of the Father, you become the masters of the world. Then there is also the sovereignty of the world. So, what's the difference between masters of the world and sovereign of the world? So, we become a master now, master over our sense organs, master over the elements, master over our mind, our thoughts. So, we are masters of this world. Not that we go around ruling, that I'm a master, but I become a self sovereign first, and then I claim sovereignty. That means the kingdom of the world. So first I become master, and then I become a sovereign, which is an emperor or a ruler in golden age. The effort you have to make is to claim a high status in that, but otherwise there is liberation in life in a second. So there are two things, right? Liberation and liberation in life. Liberation in life means that while living, I'm liberated from any kind of sorrow. I'm not taking sorrow. So Baba says that in 1 second, we can experience liberation in life. And how is that? Because it takes 1 second to realize. It takes 1 second to connect to Baba. And liberation in life doesn't mean that it will start in golden age, but liberation in life even starts now. If we stop taking sorrow, we are liberated from any kind of bondages. So liberation in life starts now. So this is right. It is up to each one of you to make effort. Continue to remember the Father, and you souls will become completely pure. You will become Satopradhan and become the masters of the Satopradhan world. You have become Satopradhan from Tamopradhan so many times. This cycle continues to turn. It never ends. That's why eternal. The Father sits here and explains so well. He says, I come every cycle. You children invite me into this dirty world. What invitation do you give me? You say, we have become impure and so come and purify us. It is such a wonderful invitation of yours. You say, take us to the land of peace and the land of happiness. And so I am your obedient servant. God comes and tells us, you called me to purify you. So I come. I'm your obedient servant. I come to purify you. But he says what we need to do is remember him to get purified. So this is an invitation. And he says, I'm your obedient servant. I'm here. This is also in the playing of the drama. He says it's also in the drama that I have to come to purify you. So, you know why he's saying this? It's like he doesn't even want the credit of coming. He just wants to say, oh, it's drama. That's why I'm here. You understand that you study the same thing every cycle and play your parts. It is souls that play their parts. While sitting here, the Father is looking at souls. Shiv Baba speaks the Murli to the soul, not the body, not the person playing the part, to the soul. And that's why it's really important that when I listen to Murli, I stabilize myself as a soul, not as this person. Because when I stabilize myself as a person, so if I'm sitting here as, okay, Sonia, listening to Murli, the sanskars of Sonia will come into play. But when I stabilize myself as a soul, God's child, or as a godly student, I'm able to imbibe better. There are no interference of any sanskars, of any past, anything else. The soul just absorbs everything. So while sitting here, the Father is looking at souls. He looks at the stars. He's calling us stars today. So he's looking at each star. Souls are so tiny. It is as though there is the sparkle of stars. Some stars are very bright and others are dim. Some are closer to the moon. You too are becoming very pure with the power of yoga. And so you sparkle. Baba also says, I will give a flower to those who are very good stars amongst you children. You children also know one another. Some are really very strong and some are weak. Those stars cannot be called deities. You too are human beings, but the Father makes you souls pure and makes you into masters of the world. The Father gives you so much might as an inheritance. He is the Almighty Father. The Father says, I give you children so much might. It is also sung, Shiv Baba, you sit here and change us from human beings into deities through this study. Wonderful. No one else makes us that. This study is your source of income. The whole sky and earth, etc., become ours. No one can snatch that away from us. It is called an unshakable kingdom. No one can damage it, no one can burn it. It is the kingdom of heaven, kingdom of golden age. And Baba says, no one can snatch that kingdom from us. No one can burn that kingdom. No one can take it away. We have claimed it. So you should follow Srimad of such a father. Each one of you has to make your own individual effort. Children build museums, etc., so that you can explain to your equals with those pictures. The Father continues to give you directions. You can create whatever pictures you want. Everyone's intellect works. These are made to benefit human beings. So there are so many pictures, na? Picture of the ladder, picture of drama, picture of the tree, picture of 8 powers. So all these are created so that we can use these pictures to explain to others. You know that anyone can go to a center. So what method should you create so that people come by themselves to take this sweet? When someone's sweets are very good, they are advertised by those who have tasted them. No? If you go somewhere or some restaurant or some place, and if you like the food there, people share it, right? They say, oh, I went there, such amazing food or amazing customer service, or it was so good. So people go. So, in the same way, Baba says that all of us who have tasted the sweetness of knowledge, the sweetness of God's love, can share it with others. So, all of them would tell others, go to such and such a shop. This is the best number one sweet. No one else can give such a sweet. When someone sees it, he goes and tells others. Of course, you would think about how the whole of Bharat can go to golden age. You explain so much for that, but they have stone intellects, and so it does take effort. So even though many people take the course, right, or they have been to a center, or they have gone to an exhibition, tried to understand the knowledge, but very few practice this. Why? Because not everybody can come to golden age. Otherwise, golden age will become like iron age if all 8 billion population go there. Right? So Baba says that we have to make effort, and only those who make the highest quality effort, make themselves worthy, qualified for golden age, will go to golden age. So you also have to learn how to hunt. First of all, you learn how to hunt small prey. Strength is needed to hunt bigger prey. There are so many great scholars who have studied the Vedas and scriptures. They consider themselves to be such great authorities. In Banaras, which is a town in India, they receive such big titles, which is why Baba said, first of all, do service by surrounding everyone in Banaras. Because there's like all these spiritual uh, or all these study of the Vedas and scriptures and all of that given there in Banaras. So they earn all these titles there. So the Shri Shri, this thing, Shri Shri, like that, they get all these titles there. So Baba says, when the sound emerges from prominent people, others will then listen. No one listens to juniors. You have to explain to the lions who consider themselves to be authorities of the scriptures. They are given such big titles. Even Shiv Baba doesn't have so many titles. It is the kingdom of the path of devotion, and then it becomes the kingdom of the path of knowledge. So right now, it is kingdom of path of devotion. Everyone, so many are performing devotion. And then it becomes path of knowledge. There is no devotion on path of knowledge, then there is absolutely none of this knowledge in devotion. So the Father explains all of this. The Father looks at all of you with the understanding that all of you sitting here are stars. You have to renounce any consciousness of your bodies. Just as there is the sparkle of stars up above, so too there is a sparkle here. Some have become those who have very bright light. They are the stars of earth who are called deities. This is such a big, unlimited stage. The Father explains that is a limited night and day. This is the night of half a cycle and day for half a cycle. It is unlimited. In the day, there is nothing but happiness. There is no need to stumble anywhere. In this knowledge, there is happiness, whereas on path of devotion, there is sorrow. And why is Baba saying path of devotion is sorrow? It's because there is so much stumbling, right? Especially, one temple to another temple, to this deity, to that deity, and people go everywhere. So they're stumbling around everywhere. And sometimes on path of devotion, they are fasting, they are walking barefoot, right? So there's pain, there is some kind of right hurt, so much. So Baba says all of that is sorrow. Yeah? So God doesn't want us to like fast or torture ourselves to remember him. No. He says remembrance is really easy. You don't need to go through all of this. So there is no mention of sorrow in golden age. There is no death there. You conquer death. So the word death is used now. In golden age, we all will know that the soul leaves the body. The part is complete and the soul is now leaving the body. So that is the land of immortality. You know that the Father is telling you the story of immortality for the land of immortality. You sweetest children now have all the knowledge of the whole cycle in your intellects from the very beginning. You know that the home of you souls is the Brahm element. You come here from there number wise to play your parts. There are so many souls. The Father would not sit and talk about each and every one individually. So Baba gives us an overall journey, right? Overall understanding of all of us, all the souls. He tells you everything in a nutshell. There are so many branches. The tree grows as the branches continue to emerge. There are many who don't even know about their own religion. The father comes and explains, originally you belong to the deity religion, but you have now become corrupt in your religion and your actions. It is now in the intellects of you children that you were originally residents of the land of peace, and you then came here to play your parts. It used to be the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. It was their dynasty. You are now at confluence age. The father has told you that you were the sun dynasty and that you then became the moon dynasty. Then in between, there are byplots. This is an unlimited play. This is such a small tree. This is called the Brahmin clan. It will then become so big that you will not even be able to see or meet everyone. You continue to surround everyone in doing service. The father says, surround everyone in Delhi and Benares. He then says, you are the ones who will surround the whole world. You are establishing the one kingdom over the entire world with the power of yoga. And so you should have so much happiness. It's like, visualize this that we are enveloping the entire world in God's light through this power of yoga. Visualize this, the whole world is being enveloped in God's light. Oh, this is seva, service. Some continue to go to one place and others to another place. No one listens to you now. When important people come, and that is printed in newspapers, they will then understand. So, great wealthy people think that this is heaven for them. Only the poor come and claim their inheritance. They say, Baba, you alone and no one else is mine. Because the wealthy or people who have businesses, they are so busy with all of that. They usually will say, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for meditation. That only those who are poor in terms of they don't have too much wealth or too many businesses will be able to practice this. So Baba says, they say, Baba, you alone and no one else is mine. However, that can only be when their attachment has broken away from the whole world. Our attachment to so many things in this world, people of this world, things, huh, doesn't let us belong to Baba. So when this worldly attachment breaks, then we realize that only I belong to only one God and He belongs to me. Acha, to the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bapdada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say
Namaste to the spiritual father.
essence for dharna. Continue to caution one another in order to make souls pure. Give everyone the signal of Man Mana Bhava. That is, so keep reminding. Remember Baba. Become pure with the power of yoga and become a sparkling star. Second point, understand this unlimited predestined play or drama very well and become a spinner of the discus of self realization. Give the ointment of this knowledge to human beings and remove them from the extreme darkness of ignorance. Give the ointment of this knowledge to human beings and remove them from extreme darkness of ignorance. Today's blessing. May you be a self-sovereign, and make all treasures your own. with the awareness of being a child and a master. May you be a self sovereign and make all treasures your own with the awareness of being a child and the master. At this time, you children are not just children, but you are the children who are masters. One is a master who is a self sovereign, and the other is a master of the father's inheritance. Remember, Baba spoke about that in the Murli, masters and then sovereigns, right? So, one is a master who is a self sovereign. That means I'm a master over my sense organs, my mind, intellect, sanskars, my habits, right? All of that, the elements. And then I become master of the inheritance of golden age. So I become a master of that. Since you are self sovereigns, you keep all of your physical senses in order. However, from time to time, you forget the awareness of your being their master and your mind takes control. Therefore, the Father's mantra is Man Mana Bhava. Man is mind. Focus your mind on me. Direct your mind towards me. When you remain Man Mana Bhav, you do not become influenced by anything wasteful and you experience all treasures as belonging to you. That means then when I stabilize my mind in remembrance of Baba, then I experience all treasures as mine. But if the mind is not in remembrance of Baba, if the mind is in all the directions thinking about so many things, waste thoughts, right? Negative thoughts, then of course I'm not accumulating any treasures. I'm not receiving anything from Baba. So that's why Baba says, remember me, that is, use the mind, create thoughts to remember me. That's how we become self sovereigns and also master, so child and master. So I become master, self sovereign, and then as a child, I claim my inheritance from the Supreme Father. So I'm a master of the self, and I also, as a child, claim my inheritance. But Baba says, don't let the mind become the master and don't become a child to your mind, where the mind is totally governing you. And we say sometimes, oh, what to do? I don't know. My mind is everywhere. I don't know how to control the mind. No, Baba says, remember that I am a self sovereign. I am a master over the mind. Slogan: to experience the pleasure of the flying stage in the swing of God's love is your most elevated fortune. The experience of the to experience the pleasure of the flying stage in the swing of God's love is your most elevated fortune. Think about it. God, who the entire world is seeking or looking for, and he says that children, I make you belong to me. You can swing in the swing of my love. Isn't that our most elevated fortune? That God has made me belong to him. Is making me swing in the swing of his love. So never get down from that swing. Sit, sit in that swing. Enjoy being in that swing of God's love. Cha, Om Shanti. So, couple of points that we can practice. I am a sparkling star, becoming a deity, sh- sharing light to the world. The second point that we can pay attention to and practice for the self effort is understanding that this drama is eternal. I, the soul, am playing an eternal part in this drama. My part doesn't end. And I know my part from the beginning to the middle to the end of the cycle. That's called spinning the discus of self realization. I realize my worth. I realize who I am. Even though I'm playing this ordinary part, probably, but it's not ordinary. So, realizing my worth. And then the third point that we can practice is reminding myself that I am the master. I am a self sovereign. I have control over my mind. The mind is not my master. I am the master of my mind. So if the mind is trying to play any tricks, I can stop and say, "Oh, what are you doing? I see what you're doing. I am the master. Let me tell you what to think." Right? So Murli gives us different points or thoughts that we can practice during the day. And today, the relationship that we can experience with Baba is of the father, teacher, Satguru. Yeah? He's the father, teacher, Satguru. As father, I receive inheritance. As teacher, I receive knowledge. And as Satguru, Baba is giving me liberation in life, giving me the experience of liberation in life. Okay? Om Shanti.